Hello and welcome back to the channel for my Everything You Missed video for Once Upon Time, Chapter 3 of Doctor Who Flux. In this video, I'll be covering every Easter egg from this episode, every callback to a previous Doctor Who adventure, to a previous Doctor, a previous companion, a previous monster, and indeed all the returning characters and monsters from this episode, of which there were quite a few. In the first of multiple old monster cameos, the episode's pre-title scene saw the return of the Daleks, last seen 10 months ago in Revolution of the Daleks. Look closely and you'll see that these Daleks sport the claw introduced with the Recon Dalek in Resolution and seen again on the Defence Drones and Death Squad Daleks in Revolution of the Daleks. Of course, both these stories were broadcast on New Year's Day, making this the first non-New Year's Day appearance for the Daleks in the Whittaker/Chibnall era. Straight after the titles, we had a sequence very similar to the Mind Palace scenes from Stephen Moffat and Mark Gatiss' hit show Sherlock, and used twice before in Doctor Who to portray the Doctor's internal monologue, in the 11th Hour and Heaven Sent. We've previously seen the 13th Doctor deploy a talking out loud approach to solving problems in stories such as the Saranga Conundrum. On this occasion, her solution is to throw herself and her friends into the midst of a time storm. 7th Doctor companion Ace, referenced once already this series in the Halloween Apocalypse, found herself in a similar predicament prior to the events of Dragonfire, arriving on Iceworld as a result of a time storm, ostensibly caused by a chemistry experiment gone wrong, but later revealed to have been engineered by Dark Times behemoth Fenric. And brief little segue here, the Dark Times, essentially the Doctor Who universe's version of prehistory, are name dropped by Old Swarm later in the episode, when he talks of the battles fought between the Ravagers and the Division. The similar sounding time streams, essentially a physical representation of a person's timeline, have also featured in the show before, in stories such as The Girl Who Waited, The Name of the Doctor, Hellbent, and Twice Upon a Time. And one final word on time, the dreamlike time jumps experienced by Dan in his vision of Liverpool put me in mind of the 2008 story Forest of the Dead, in which Donna experienced a very similar sensation. In both cases, the environments they found themselves in were merely simulations, and in both cases, the time jumps were used to signify this to the viewer. The first dream scene experienced by Yaz sees her back in her police uniform for the first time since The Woman Who Fell to Earth. Her colleague telling her that she's got a bit of salad dressing round her mouth could also be considered a throwback to the 13th Doctor's debut adventure, specifically to the now iconic line, "Eat my salad, Halloween." Our second old monster cameo was from the Weeping Angels, who initially appeared in Yaz's dream scenes, in the police car and the house that wasn't hers, then in the TARDIS for the cliffhanger. The episode referenced two key pieces of Weeping Angel lore. Firstly, the notion that the image of an angel is an angel, as introduced in The Time of Angels, and then the episode's final line, "The angel has the TARDIS," a paraphrase of "The angels have the phone box," a line spoken by the 10th Doctor in his video message for Sally Sparrow in Weeping Angel debut story, Blink. And as many have pointed out, the moments at which the angels jump out of Yaz's TV screen and then her phone also act as sneaky little adverts for Maze Theory's 2019 VR game, The Edge of Time, and 2021 mobile game, The Lonely Assassins, both of which feature the Weeping Angels. Yaz's sister Sonya puts in another appearance, following her debut in Arachnids in the UK and subsequent appearances in Demons of the Punjab, Spyfall Part 1, Spyfall Part 2, and Can You Hear Me? If we count Spyfall Parts 1 and 2 as individual episodes, she's now appeared in 6 episodes, which officially makes her the Whittaker/Chibnall era's most prolific guest character. She's also the only guest character, to date, to appear in all 3 seasons. Indeed, the only character other than the Doctor and Yaz. And Sonya actor Bhavnisha Palmer has most recently portrayed Time Agent Kira Sandstrom in Big Finish's 12th Doctor Chronicles audio, Time Jacked. The scenes between Vinder and his commander were shot in Cardiff City Hall's Marble Hall, a location first used in Doctor Who 6 years ago as the Shadow Proclamation in The Magician's Apprentice. Also making a return in this episode was the Fugitive Doctor, the pre-Hartnell incarnation introduced in Fugitive of the Judoon and seen again in The Timeless Children. For a fuller recap of everything we know about her so far, be sure to watch my video on the subject. One intriguing reference which I forgot to mention in that video is the line, "Final push, we do this, you're clear," which would seem to suggest that the Fugitive Doctor's contract with the division was set to end after she'd recaptured Atropos. Given that when we met her in Fugitive, in scenes which must surely take place after this story, she's gone rogue and is on the run from the division, this plan must have gone awry in some way. Fingers crossed we find out what really happened in a future episode. Our third and final Old Monster cameo came from the Cybermen, specifically the Cyber Warriors, introduced in the most recent season finale, Ascension of the Cybermen and the Timeless Children. Additionally, the Sontarans got a very brief name drop, following their appearances in the first two installments of Flux. I couldn't help but think of the emoji bots seen in Series 10's story Smile whenever Belle's emoji brandishing device Tigme was on screen. And talking of devices, the Fugitive Doctor, in her guise as the 13th Doctor, was sporting a vortex manipulator in the Siege of Atropos scenes. This piece of cheap and nasty time travel was first seen in The Empty Child, and has been used by multiple characters over the years, including Captain Jack, Riversong, Missy, and Krasko. And finally, the extended Next Time trailer for Village of the Angels allowed the Doctor Who theme's now lesser heard Middle 8 to put in another appearance. It's previously been heard in the Whittaker/Chibnall era just twice, at the end of The Woman Who Fell to Earth and Ascension of the Cybermen. And that's everything for another week. Every Easter egg, to the best of my knowledge, from Chapter 3 of Doctor Who Flux, Once Upon Time. Of course, if there's anything I've missed, any obvious omissions or obscure omissions, then be sure to let me know in the comments section below. Please do also like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you haven't already for more Doctor Who Flux related content. But until the next one, thank you so much for watching, and goodbye for now.